Hey, you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the West, more specifically San Diego, California, and even more specifically than that, we are in Balboa Park. This is a public park. It's been open since 1835, one of the earliest places designated for public recreation in the United States of America. You see, it's very crowded here today. I spent about 30 minutes driving in a circle trying to find a parking spot. Seems like a lot of people have come out for the nice weather today to enjoy Balboa Park. And as you look around, you just see all this amazing architecture, these different buildings. There's a lot of different museums here in Balboa Park, a lot of different attractions, and all these amazing old buildings. And one of the reasons you have this cluster of amazing buildings is they actually had several World Fair type events here. In 1915, they had the Panama, California Exposition, and then in 1935, the California Pacific International Exposition has left all these amazing structures, which are now currently occupied by different museums and attractions. See this fountain here, it says, please stay off the fountain and stay out of the planter beds. Yeah, why you gotta crawl all over everything? That's what I want to know. Down here in the lower part of the building, we have a railroad museum. The San Diego Model Railroad Museum. All right, I have this train here greeting us as we walk through the halls here. You can see all this inside these windows is model trains. And you can see they're all on these islands here, and the people working the trains can walk in between. Oh, there you go. This is see the train coming through here. Looks like it's going through the depot. Oh boy, that is a lot of coal being hauled there. You can see the lights flashing there on one of the train cars. Here it looks like they're unloading some of the train cars, and for some reason they're unloading a Stegosaurus. A little town here. We have the Palace Motel card room. We have Madame Kong's massage right there. Down here in the harbor, oh look at that, a whale sighting. I actually didn't get a chance to see a whale when I went on a whale seeing tour earlier in the week, but that's almost as good. A miniature carnival there. Looks like currently the carousel is operating. Got some classic carnival rides there. Looks like behind the carousel is the Zinger, that also known as the Zipper. I've been on that before. You can see some of these scenes are still being constructed, so still adding new things to the Railway Museum. You can see the hills being cut out of styrofoam. Got some photos there as reference. See these little cars there traveling along the long desert road there. Oh, a tiny little scene playing out there. We see this chicken truck has wrecked. All these little tiny dots are different chickens. You can see people chasing after chickens there, trying to round up all the chickens. And over here, this dog is running away with a chicken.
5 minutes time.
This little town here, you can see they actually have a drive-in movie theater. Looks like they're actually watching some old Looney Tunes cartoons there on the big screen. And you can listen to the drive-in movie through the authentic drive-in movie speakers right here. Oh, and check this out in here. It's amazing train set. It's the Greyhound station there. It's a McDonald's. Oh, it looks like this factory's on fire back there. You can see all the fire trucks. Oh, there's a trolley there. Oh, look at that car. Oh, who's on? I think it's a Batman. What? Did you see that? I think it's a Batman on that particular train. Let's see as it comes back around. I know I saw Batman. There were some other people there as well. Oh, wow. Here we are on the other side of that flaming building. Oh, there goes one of Thomas's friends there. Oh, look at that train there. That's interesting. Almost looks like a futuristic train of some sort. In front of the Railroad Museum, we have this trolley photo op here. Oh, those are pretty cars, aren't they? Oh, wait. What just happened there? What's that car doing? Oh, that's loud. Come over here to the Museum of Us. It's housed in one of the most iconic buildings here in San Diego. You can see that beautiful tower right there. This was built for the 1915 Panama, California Exposition. But what makes this even more fascinating is that this building was used in the filming of Citizen Kane, one of the most iconic movies of all time, actually voted the greatest movie of all time. And the main character of the movie, Charles Foster Kane, lived in an amazing estate known as Xanadu, and they actually used shots of this museum to portray Xanadu, the home of Charles Foster Kane, one of the most richest and influential men in the country. And you can see why, because it's absolutely beautiful exterior there. Just look at the detail there on the building. Absolutely amazing, breathtaking up there at the tower. Now, up until recently, this museum was known as the Museum of Man. It was kind of a museum of the history of mankind and all that entails. However, they recently have changed the name to the Museum of Us. They wanted to choose something that was more inclusive, I guess. They felt that Museum of Man, oh, see the tower, bell tower ringing there. Anyways, they wanted to change the name from the Museum of Man. They felt like it was not an inclusive term. They wanted it to be a place that people, the Museum of People was kind of the original concept. I think the word man back in the day would be be a synonym for like people, mankind, humanity, if you will. But recently they wanted to make it more inclusive for people that did not identify with the term man, so they made the decision to change it to the Museum of Us. And I have visited the Museum of Man before, but I've never visited the Museum of Us. See some of the merchandise here for the Museum of Us. You see the box there, it actually crossed out where it says man and it put us in its place. Here is the old sign for the Museum of Man. The change was made in 2020 when the sign was removed. And then down here it kind of gives a timeline of the different names. Originally it was just called the San Diego Museum, and it was originally built in 1915. Didn't change their name to the Museum of Man until 1942. Then in the 70s changed to the San Diego Museum of Man. Then all the way back in 1991 it said community, people within the community urged the museum to change the name. They did not like the name Museum of Man, felt it was not inclusive. So it says, after much consideration and meeting with people in the community, they did change the name to the Museum of Us back in 2020. And here we are. You can see the high dome-shaped ceiling there. It's an amazing, beautiful building here. In the back they have an exhibit here on the Mayan people. These amazing stone carvings. We have an exhibit here called Hostile Terrain. It's about people crossing the US-Mexican border and the hostile terrain that prevents people from making it into the United States. Along here we have a map of the US-Mexican border here in California and Arizona, and each one of these tags is someone that lost their lives trying to cross over because of the harsh desert conditions. They have all the different names of people on here. These orange tags are actually unidentified bodies that have been found. This one says it was just skeletal remains found in the desert. So yeah, all the orange ones are people that could not be identified, just remains found in the desert. And yeah, looking at this, that's very, very sad. People losing their lives just trying to find something a little better for themselves and their families. Different items found in the desert, left behind by people who died on their trip. Some different items here. Boots, shoes, some playing cards, an inhaler, and a bunch of different toothbrushes. Over here we actually have an exhibit on beer and the ancient beer making process. It appears that cultures all over the world independently figured out how to brew beer. Here is talks of the Incan beer that was brewed. It says in Egypt, beer was used as a form of currency. They would actually pay workers in beer. So people that built the pyramids and other architectural landmarks in Egypt were paid in beer. So when you see the beautiful Egyptian carvings and landmarks, just think they were all created by a bunch of drunk people. Some German beer steins. And it actually talks about Gambrinus, who is often seen as the inventor of beer. However, there is no historical proof that Gambrinus created beer, and actually no historical proof that he actually existed. Yeah, here's some ancient Egyptian beer barrels. Here's some busts that were featured in the original 1915 museum. It says that real people posed for these busts, and they were separated and labeled according to race, which talks about now how that's kind of a insensitive way to label people. Here we have Matawapi, age 65 years. He's a Teton Sioux, and it says here that the term Sioux is no longer considered an appropriate term to refer to people that some consider it to be offensive. There's two busts made of two little girls. There's Sarah Clark over here. It's labeled as a American 5th generation. And then you have Pearl Brown here, who is not labeled in the same manner. It's labeled in a way to refer to her race, unlike Sarah Clark, kind of reflecting of the way people were viewed at the time. We're in the ancient Egypt section. Of course, I always ask myself the same question when I enter the Egyptian section of a museum. Do they have mummies? This is not a mummy. This is our sarcophagus, so it's kind of like the casket for a mummy. Although I do wonder, what happened to the mummy? Here we do have some non-human mummies. This is a mummified ibis right there, and a mummified falcon. Here is a child's coffin for a mummified child, although I do not believe there is any remains of a human in here. I think this is just the coffin. Yeah, this exhibit has quite a few sarcophaguses, but makes me wonder what happened to the mummies. Hopefully they didn't just throw the mummies in the trash. Out here on the balcony above the street, and this room here, maybe this is where they keep the mummies. I see. Oh my goodness. Is this? Okay, that's locked. It's locked. Okay. It's locked. Maybe the mummies are in there, they just don't want us to see them. And this is actually really cool. They have a post-secret exhibit. Now, I actually used to go to this website every week. I think they would update it about once a week. And what they would do is people would send their postcards in to the address listed on the website, a physical address. See, these are all stacks of postcard. And they would put secrets there, things that people did not know, things that they would not say out loud, but they put them on a postcard and mail them to a website where they would be displayed. They would pick some and display them every week. You can just see the massive amounts of postcards there. It always fascinated me because I actually collect postcards, but I always wanted to send in a secret to Post Secrets, but I don't think I ever actually did. I never took the time to send in one of my secrets. Hopefully I don't have too many dark secrets. But yeah, just look at all those postcards. It was a really fascinating website. I need to check back in and see if the website is still active in some form. See the rows and rows, different postcards here. So a lot of the postcards were basically confessions. It said, "I am afraid my unborn children will not be as beautiful as my sister's kids." Here someone says, "I pressed the door close button. I just pretended that I didn't see." I think that's something we've all been guilty of in elevators, is hitting that door close button, hoping we can get the elevator to ourselves. This person likes to watch Dr. Phil drunk. I don't know, that might actually be pretty entertaining. Over here it says, "I fear no one will ever love me." Yeah, that's really sad. That's definitely a sad one. This one says, "My cat had surgery yesterday. If it kills her, I will stop believing in God." Yeah, a lot of these do have to do with faith. This one says, "I only believe in God when I'm near the ocean. Sometimes I put coins in other people's parking meters." Well, that one's just nice. There's different books here that can be opened. It says, "I work at the Apple Store and judge you by which color iPod you pick." Well, that's not nice to judge people. This one says, "I don't know how to have conversation with people. It always ends up with awkward silence." Now that's one I can actually relate to. And they do have a station here where you can actually make your own secret postcard and submit it right here in the museum. Here we have their Living with Animals exhibit. It's our first animal allies. You can see the early man there bonding with a wolf, and this led to the creation of the dog. Check out this dapper blue gentleman here. There's different dog collars the different dogs would wear. You can see a variety of collars that have different functions. See this terrifying spiky collar there. This muzzle that stops a dog from biting people and ripping them apart. And then these dainty little bow tie collars that are probably for a different dog than the muzzle and the spiked collar. See these different pictures here of people bonding with animals. There's a young boy and his snake, a man and his falcon, a woman with her canary, and a woman bottle feeding a pig. And check out this amazing deer head here. It says, "Don't squash my pet." It says parts of Asia have a tradition of keeping pet insects. Let's see different beetles there. There's some real beetles right there and some toy beetles as well. Walking along here, you can see the different animals in the wall. There's a giraffe, a shark, there's an iguana right there, there's a sheep, and a dinosaur. Here people can hang suggestions on how they can live better with animals. This person says, just eat the dead ones, it's more humane. That is more humane. The problem with waiting for animals to die is that often they're dying from disease, and you can't really just do that. You can't just walk out into a field and start snacking on animals that have died mysteriously. A worldwide pest. This talks about mice and rats and how they have traveled all over the world with people, have come along with people everywhere they went. See some of the luggage here, and it looks like there's different mouse traps amongst the luggage here. Oh yeah, there's a big old rat trap. Oh, there's a jar that traps mice in it. Oh, you see that's like is that like a bow and arrow to shoot mice with arrows? There's some of the poison up there. You can see these two rats here are looking to start a new life in the new world. Yeah, I see these orange suitcases crawling with rats. I guess they're hiding in your clothes there. There's a little vacation spot in your suitcase where the rats and cockroaches are relaxing, having a little beach vacation. Here's some pigeons there. Uh-oh, looks like that pigeon left a little pigeon sauce behind. Have a little dining area in here. I guess this pig here is our waitress. You can sit down at these tables and look at the different meals. In 1930s, what would we be eating in 1930s? Mulligatawny soup? What's mulligatawny soup? It looks delicious. Some good old bowl of mulligatawny soup there. Oh, it's being devoured before our eyes. Oh, someone ate all my mulligatawny soup. Oh, this is a different era. This is the 1960s. Hawaiian hot dog kebabs. Oh, where'd it go? Those hot dogs kebabs flew by fast. In the 1900s, we'd be eating potted pigeon. Potted pigeon. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. I thought it would. What is a potted pigeon though? Where you keep it in like a pot? Oh, there it's getting gobbled down. Now across the street here, they actually have a separate exhibit. And across the street, we have the cannibal exhibit. of all these different movies that feature cannibalism. There's Bob's Burgers, the original version before, you know, the pilot they made before it ever aired on TV. The family just happened to be cannibals. Silence of the Lambs here, infamous for having the character Hannibal, who just so happened to be a cannibal. It wasn't just because his name rhymed with it, I assume. Here is some Hannibal Funko Pops, different versions of Hannibal played by different actors. And we have fried green tomatoes, and yeah, for those of you that are not familiar with the movie, there is a heavy cannibal side plot within this movie. There's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, one of the most infamous cannibal movies of all time, a family that turns people into a barbecue. There is the Cannibal King, Jack Sparrow. In the second movie, he was made chief of a cannibal tribe. And there's Cannibal the Musical. I actually love, I actually kind of have a soft spot. I do like this movie, and I'm actually not even a South Park fan. This was created by the creators of South Park. Lift to reveal the unexpected cannibal. It says, I want to absorb the life force of another. I will consume the powder made from the skull of a healthy young man who died a quick and violent death. Who was this cannibal? King Charles of England. Yikes. There are some Aztec cannibal tools, ceremonial knife, as well as bowls to collect blood. Now this is really fascinating to me. This is a bust that was on display at the 1904 St. Louis World Fair. See, it's labeled as a pygmy. These are busts to show different races. And it was exhibited as the bust of a cannibal pygmy, although it was not a cannibal, but it was, this is actually a carving of Otta Benga, who has a really fascinating and very, very sad life story. He was African native who was actually brought over to America and was on display at the zoo, on display at the Bronx Zoo in New York in the primate section, which is just horrible and sad and tragic thing to put a human being on display at a zoo. And then he originally was released from the zoo after local black ministers petitioned to have him released. But then he had a really, really hard time fitting into America. He was just kind of dropped in and ended up taking his own life, which is just a really sad a sad example of how we treat people in this world. And this asks the question, are you part cannibal? Well, I certainly hope not. I've never partaken in the delight of consuming human flesh. Here we have messages in a bottle where we write what we would do if we were faced with the same choices as shipwrecked sailors, starving colonists, or stranded travelers. Would we resort to cannibalism? And would I resort to the ultimate crime of cannibalism? Let's just say that's my post secret there. This talks about Jamestown's colonial cannibalism. We see these remnants of a skeleton found there with mysterious marks. We need to guess what the marks would be. Oh, I think that's teeth. I think someone was eating the skeleton. It says knife cuts. Oh, so okay. These are knife cuts there. Forehead chops. Oh, so these are, I guess, yeah, they were deep chops to the back of the head. Okay, looks like they were chopping up this skeleton for dinner. That's pretty disturbing if you really think about it. And here in the cannibal exhibit, you can actually play the game of the Donner Trail. I guess like the Oregon Trail, but much more graphic. This talks about forms of cannibalism that are considered socially acceptable. You can have human organ donations. Normally you wouldn't eat the organ, but I guess having it placed inside your body is a form of cannibalism. Oh yeah, babies drink human milk. Technically cannibalism. Some fingernails there. Oh yeah, if you chew your fingernails and swallow them, you are indeed a cannibal. Where do they draw the line? We get to see different animals and see if they're cannibals. This frog, he looks like a cannibal. Is he? He's a cannibal. See the, oh, look at that adorable little piglet. He would never eat another little piggy. But oh no, it's a cannibal. Are chickens cannibals? Yes. I'm starting to think these are all cannibals. Or is this bear a cannibal? It's a cannibal. Oh no, not you, bunny. I would have thought that you would never be a, you're a cannibal. Oh, this monkey, I know he's a cannibal. Yeah, they love eating any flesh that they can tear with their teeth. Lion's a cannibal. Cannibal. And shark, yeah, shark. I kind of expected it from you, Mr. Shark. Man, look at all these cannibals. And here we have the Alcazar Gardens. Almost looks like a hedge maze of some sort. Oh look, flowers. It's a pretty cool piece of artwork there. Oh wow. And look over here. This pond here is absolutely crawling with ducks. Look at the ducks. Look at all those ducks. Hey guys. Oh, look down there. The big giant koi under the water.
To the top half. All right, now from the top half, watch the car jump. Watch the car.
Yeah, honey, we're out of time today.
I think we're going to try to check out one more museum today here in Balboa Park. Here is the San Diego Natural History Museum. Always a big fan of natural history museums. We have the sundial here out in front. At least I think that's a sundial. It's a pterodactyl eating a delicious bass. Just what I want to see when I enter a natural history museum, a fight to the death. We have the vicious Albertosaurus here lunging at the poor innocent Lambosaur. See the earth clock here. It actually tells time by the rotation of the earth, knocking down those little wood blocks at various points during the day. It actually just tapped that block over there. Is it gonna knock it down? Oh, it just missed it. Oh, it made it rumble. Oh my gosh, there we go. It's an amazing ankylosaurus there. It says, please do not climb the ankylosaurus. That is actually a very, very enticing climb right there. You can definitely see how kids would want to just scurry up that tail. And he has that knowing look on his face. Come on, ignore the sign. You know you want to climb on me. Now, one thing I never thought I'd see in a museum is a possum eating a velociraptor, but here we are. We have the deceased velociraptor there, the accurate feather version, and those are early possums crawling on top of the velociraptor, eating its flesh. Wow. Possum wins again. So we enter the forest here. You can see different animals. There's some monkeys up there in that tree. You can see a snake there. Actually, if you look closely, there's just tons of little animals hiding about. Little guy there looking up the tree. And we have a little miniature tapir going into the pond there. Yeah, it says these are the prehistoric forests of San Diego. Oh, look at that San Diego crocodile right there. And this is a bronzeer here. It's an early relative of the rhinoceros. It actually only has very small nubs instead of horns. Please do not climb on the baby bronzeer. Oh, okay. That looks like you're supposed to sit on him. I'm just saying. Obviously, bathe aside, don't sit on him, but that's like, it's like a perfect little photo op there. Here we have the skull of some prey, the white-tailed deer, and a predator, the mountain lion. But check this out, we got these little switches where we can make them talk. Look at me, I'm a deer. I hope this mountain lion doesn't eat my face off. You're no match for me, dear. I'm going to eat your face. No, not my face. Yes, your face. That's my favorite part to eat. No, no, leave me alone. I'll never leave you alone. We have this monkey skeleton right here. I guess it's almost like a doorknob. We can turn the monkey skeleton's wrist there. Let's see how flexible that wrist is and how they climb. This deer skeleton here, we can actually turn this wheel and we can make the leg go there very gradually. Oh, there we go. You can see how the leg of the skeleton moves there. Oh, I didn't even notice this when I first came in. Just came back out here and see the Albertosaurus on this side is a skeleton. And the Lambosaur, also a skeleton on that side. Yeah, I love this setup in museums. You can see the skeletal, terrifying side right there, and the equally terrifying flesh side right there. Massive whale skeleton there. Again, please do not climb on the sea cow. I don't know, I have a theory that these were originally designed as photo ops, but it was later discovered they apparently were not structurally strong enough to be able to climb on. This is just a theory of mine. Otherwise, yeah, you put this out here, this is asking to be climbed on. Not that you should climb on it. Never climb on something you're not supposed to climb on. But again, it looks like a great photo op if it was allowed. Also, do not climb on the baby mastodon. That's perfect. They might as well put a saddle on it. And there we have my boy, the giant land sloth. Rah, 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 rah. Okay, this is one of the funnest natural history museums I've ever been in. Rah, 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 rah. Rah, 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 rah. Oh, look at this little guy right here. How you doing, buddy? This big crazy oarfish here on the wall. Oh, and look at that. Whose jaw is that? That is actually a jaw of a sperm whale. So that's Moby Dick's mouth right there. This exhibit's called Unshelved. They've actually taken some cool stuff from storage and put it on display. I love when museums do this because, you know, there's so much cool stuff in the back. Sometimes they just don't have a reason to put it out. So here's just some fun stuff brought out for us to enjoy. You see the California black bear, which is actually brown, which is kind of that's like not what you'd expect from a black bear. We have all these cool pelicans up here as well. There's a whole closet full of things in jars there. There's an iguana an iguana in a jar, a big rattlesnake shoved in the jar there. This jar here is just full of frogs. Over here, that is the biggest dead penguin I've ever seen. See, some of these animals here are actually still in their packaging. This antelope is still in its original plastic bag. See the bony fish there, and the bony dolphin there. Again, love the displays where you can see both the skeleton and the skin. We have these massive Californian bears here. This exhibit here, Costa Cactus in Southern California. See the birds along here, but watch out. The little fox nipping at the heels of this bird. You can see some of the smaller organisms here. We got the giant crab, then all sorts of creepy things embedded in the mud here. Oh, what is that even? Living in the mud. And I guess this one you actually can climb on this one. It's summer on the patio. Explore the urban wild. So these are animals that live on your porch here in Southern California. Oh, look at that. There's a house cat there has snagged him a bird. There's the patio furniture here. And then we got a family of skunks munching on your cat food. Oh wait, there's something scurrying around on top of the porch there. What is that? Oh, you hear it run. What are you? Yeah, just sitting out here on the porch watching the animals. Oh no, there's a bat eating out of the bird feeder. And then down here, this raccoon has stolen a slice of your pizza. This tank of frogs here, including this giant American bullfrog. Hey buddy, what are you doing there? Oh, you're a big guy. You have a California condor. These birds had one of the most amazing dodging of an extinction. There was 0 left in the wild, only 22 left in captivity, but they were able to successfully breed them, and now there are some back in the wild. And this is pretty fun here. This is how they helped rear these baby condors. You see the baby condor there, and this is actually a hand puppet where they would use to interact with the baby, be able to train the baby to recognize this puppet as its mother. We have an Airstream trailer back here. Let's peek inside. Okay, this must be like a science trailer here. You can see they do have a little sitting area, but all these animal specimens here in the bookshelf. Oh yeah, what's that down here? Here's some fur samples. Of course, these have been pet so many times by children that the fur has been rubbed mostly away. You can feel the squirrel there, and oh, we still have a good patch of badger hair there. Oh, look up here at this massive smiley shark. Oh, look at this. You can just throw your trash here inside of Trash Frog. See this wonderful alligator sculpture here. Oh, look at that. Not too far from the airport here. So thank you for joining me here today in Balboa Park as we check out some of the amazing museums they have to offer here. And we just scratched the surface too. There's a whole bunch of different museums. There's an air and space museum, an automobile museum, several art museums, and just it even more goes on from there. And just a wonderful little area. There's places to walk around, nature trails. I've only shown a very small portion of Balboa Park here, and really enjoyed all the museums went to today. And thank you for coming along. If you guys like these videos, please subscribe. If you'd like to help support the channel, please consider contributing to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also have enamel pins in the Etsy shop, and I am now on Cameo. So if you'd like a custom message from me, all that information is down in the description, and all that helps to keep this model train on the track, this boat in the water, and this dirigible in the air. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag. A tram just pulled up behind me.